Suppose a kid is not given the proper moral lessons. He doesn't know whether it's right or wrong to kill, to steal, or anything like that. He doesn't have his conscience pricking when he does something wrong, which is wrong in our eyes. So for him, he hasn't done any sin. So how will he be judged?
Okay, I'll very briefly answer because this is something I can really talk for hours. Okay, so if say killing is bad, right? Then killing is bad for killing bad people also. Would you justify killing bad people is good?
No, for him, killing is not a bad thing. He doesn't know what is good, what is
Yeah,
right, what is
right, right. I'll come to there. I'll come to there for sure.
okay, okay,
So let's say killing right now. We all say killing is a bad thing. We'll
right,
come to that kid who does not know killing is a bad thing or not,
okay,
right?
yeah.
So now, if we kill a bad person, a demon, would that be a good thing?
No,
How about the soldiers killing the enemies? Would that be a bad thing?
that's also doubtful.
So how come some killing is good, some killing is bad?
Right.
And the other thing is what decides something good is bad, good or something bad.
Hmm.
So even if you kill a bad person, and if you have this guilt, it's not a good thing.
Right.
And if you kill someone and you don't have a regret, you will not feel the pain
Yeah.
that many people feel. That is why we all complain why such a bad person is getting so much, because he
Mm.
does not have a guilt.
Right.
He does not have those negative limiting beliefs about himself or herself.
Yeah.
Even though karma comes to everyone, I'm not saying killing is good or bad. We think good or bad because we made think in good or bad. Where it is written killing is good or killing is bad, something that is good is bad based on the context. You say marrying once is good, then there are religion who are marrying more than once. Then they say man can marry more than once. Then there are some religion where women can marry more than once, right? There's so much, everything based on context. How come when God kills someone, it is always good?
Yeah.
So why there are different rules that are being applied to different people? Even on same humans. If a soldier kills someone, everyone is praying, everyone is giving him the brightest spot in the society.
Right.
But
Right.
if I kill someone, I am put in jail,
Yeah.
right? So it is all about context. It is all about the burden on the heart. If you do something unknowingly, but you actually impacted someone negatively, you're gonna get karma for sure. But if you have not acted, if you not impacted someone negatively, like the person was supposed to go through that death, maybe because of this kid who does not know he killed someone, he's getting his karma. You are just being a party to it. Then there's no karma, because even for God to manifest things, the God needs people, or the creator needs people to do things. A person will not be killed all of a sudden. There should be something happening, either the heart attack or some accident or someone killing, someone shooting, someone doing something, right? Someone stabbing. it has to be manifested in a physical way because we live in a physical world. So for a kid who does not know he killed someone, it's also contextual based on whether he being party to what, um, he paying someone's karma back, or he doing unknowingly and doing something bad and then getting impacted later on. And you may think that isn't that of what do you unfair expectation for being a kid, or to that kid because he does not know, which is again yes and no. Something that Diana mentioned earlier, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit, but again, it may be a topic everyone may not relate to. So even to decide which family we are going to born in, we had a say. Whether you call that free will, you call something else. The thing is that whenever we, okay, again, the people who do not believe in multiple births, multiple lives, they probably will be switched off by now, thinking that, oh, what am I talking about? But if you believe in that, and if you don't believe, ask yourself, what were you before that, before you were born, what you will be after you're born, then what are those criteria that decided that you are born in such family. If everyone gets one life, then why someone are being born poor, one some are being born rich, some are being born taller, shorter, some skills, some not skills, resources and things like that. There should be some criteria in any case. When we just normal human being can think of so much, God, who's omnipotent, omniscience, omnipresent, will not think of such things. Of course, there should be some criteria in that case. So what I'm saying is, we do have a choice when we are being born. If we are too much into materialistic things, we will make those decisions where we will not know the repercussions of our decisions. So if you are a soul, and if you need a body to get born, you will quickly go to settle for a body that is becoming available, a mother that is conceived who's pregnant, basically, right? And you definitely will be told that this is this kind of family, they have resources, they you will have hardship, or you will have easy life, whatever it is. But if you don't care, all you need is a body, because you can't survive without a body. All you have lived is physical way of living things. You never thought of spiritual way. Now you're craving your food because you can't eat without a body. You are craving all the thing physically that you do, physicality of things that you are doing all this while, and all of a sudden you can't do. So you crave a body now. Even to touch someone, you need a body. Even to hold someone's hands, even if you have good intentions. So you will settle for a body, even if they come with a repercussion. And they doing something after being born is something that was already told to them. They settle for that. Versus some people, that is why it is said, take yourself away from materialistic thing, do meditation, is because when you start to think differently, start to detach yourself from worldly thing, when a chance is given to you to select a body, you are patient. You know that you don't have to take hasty decision. You have to decide based on what will serve you better. So you know, like, what do we call maturity in this world, right? Someone taking a decision which is lasting, everlasting, which actually makes sense, versus someone who's deciding without any reasoning or logic, or just doing things on impulsively. There's a difference between impulse and maturity. That the same difference comes when we are born, or before we are born. And if we are still attached to worldly things, we react or act impulsively. And when we are away from certain things, we know, uh, okay, even if I don't have body right now, I can do this thing, this family, this life looks to be better, so that I am able to achieve my further goals. I can evolve further. So you will get different kind of opportunities, but like Diana mentioned in her presentation, what you choose to do is up to you. Very small story, I will not take too much of your time. Like Gautam Buddha, he was born in a king family, right? He was a king or a prince. He was born prince. So in India, we have this concept of horoscope, Kundli, we call it, right? So, and it is pretty big because people believe, and it is actually pretty accurate as well. There's some bad side of it. We'll talk about that sometime later. But so when he was born, his horoscope was made, and it was said that either he will be a great king or he will be a great saint. So his father, who was a king, he wanted, of course, wanted him to become a king, not a saint. So he created a life around him where he has to be away from all the sufferings in the life, all the sadness in the life. Everything was available to him before he says so. He never saw a death, he never saw an old man, he never saw anyone falling sick, anyone suffering. That did not exist in his life at all because his father had means to create that smaller life around him. And that is why when he actually got his first glimpse of someone suffering, someone dying, poverty, is when it hit him so hard, and he left everything, left his wife, left his kid, and went on to find nirvana, enlightenment. All everyone knows what happened after that, but he chose to do that. He could have done something else. He could have neglected in a way, like many of us do that. Yeah. So um, that is why I say there's much more to it, much more to life. So certain things are predetermined, being told, because we we are selecting some choice which is always with good and bads. And sometimes if we are only not far sighted, we'll only look at the goods of it, not bads of it. And once we get that, we'll cry here saying, oh God, why is this happening to me? In some way we made that decision. And praying to God may help you, give you some strength, but that will not take things away. You chose that life. It was a free will. No one influenced you. And don't look at what happened, why you got here. Look at what you can do. Like this morning, I was talking to my friend from my college, um, and selling the same thing. If you worry about what oh, I have wasted 1 hour in conversation, I could have done this thing, I would have watched a movie or something, then I'm gonna waste my another hour cribbing and thinking about that. That hour is gone. The years of earlier life is gone. Whatever is gone is past. No one can change that. What you can do is influence your future. How you got here, don't think about that. Don't have any regrets. In fact, let go and do such karma, such actions, so that you get away from things.